Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. If you're new, my name is Beth, and I don't know, I talk about all kinds of random stuff. But today's video is about sharing with you some of the resources that I use when I'm online. Some of the things that I think are kind of the best. And they range in all kinds of ways to give you just a little bit of everything. The only thing I didn't include is religious people that I follow, only because religion is very personal to you. It's personal to me, so I didn't want to, I didn't want to exclude anybody, and since I don't know your religious preferences, it seemed much more respectful to stay away from that territory. So these are resources that I think are historical, or are philosophical, or are spiritual. So welcome, and I will get started. So the first person that I'm going to mention is actually a YouTuber that my son likes and kind of got me turned on to. His name is Wendigoon, and my son has been watching him forever and wanted me to be one of his supporters, so I did that when he still did supporters. And I think, so I'm a professor. For those of you who don't know, I'm now a dean, but I've been an English professor for at least 100 years. And I wish every single one of my students was like Wendigoon, with the depth that he goes into with his research. And he researches all kinds of different things. But one of my favorites is his review of Dante's Divine Comedy, which is something that I've taught for 100 years. And so some of his other things, he loves giants, which I believe in giants too. I believe they existed at one time. And he is a Christian. So I think, he really comes to the material with a lot of maturity for somebody so young. And so he's linked below. And definitely check out his videos. There's really something there for everyone. And it's stuff that you can watch with your kids. And they're interesting. I will say that he's a little bit long. So definitely pack a snack. Or sometimes we've had to cut them up into a few different pieces. Because we watch them at night, and I'm old and get tired. So Wendigoon is a great secular sort of resource, not spiritual necessarily, other than he is Christian and says that he is, but he talks about all kinds of great stuff. So in this, I've always been a very spiritual person. I was once very religious, and I'm not so much religious anymore, but definitely spiritual, definitely Christian. But I accept and embrace your right and your choice to believe whatever it is you want, your path. And I know that with my Christian friends, especially those with whom I was a missionary, or those who are very, very passionate about their religions, I know that they do not agree with that philosophy, and that's okay. I'm okay with that resistance, because it's taken nearly 50 years to get to this point where I don't need to evangelize. You're going to believe what you're going to believe, and the resources are out there that will touch your heart if you let them, right? So one of the people that sort of a mini little story is that right now I had foot surgery, and so I am incapable of doing anything else, and I'm a very busy person when I'm not injured. So I hike and backpack long distance. I do Girl Scouts, and I hike on the Appalachian Trail, and I play the bagpipes, and I march. So I am busy literally every single day of the week, and I'm always out doing cool stuff, fun stuff. And what has happened in this last, the 6 weeks since the surgery, and then the time up to it when I was in the bigger boot going through therapy, is that I've had to sit still a lot. So I've had to watch all this stuff, and I'm not a sitter, so it really was very challenging. So I would go on YouTube and I'd be like, well, give me somebody who isn't I don't know, there's a vibe I get from some people who are just I don't know, I don't want to say they're kooky, because kooky is so relative, but that I look at them and I'm so open-minded, and I think, oh, people aren't going to listen to this. This sounds like baloney. This sounds fake. This doesn't sound real. Give me somebody real. And I came across Suzanne Geyserman. I think I'm saying her name right. And she is, first of all, she was, a high-ranking, I think maybe one of the higher-ranking folks in the Navy. And, so I understand the mindset of a combat soldier because I married one. So, they are not drawn to baloney and BS, right? They're, they're pretty straightforward. So she, after she got out of the Navy, she there was her stepdaughter died by lightning, and I mean, her stepdaughter was a Marine, and she came to spirituality through that way. And she was raised in a house of I think an atheist and an agnostic, so she didn't have religious training, she didn't have spiritual training. She came to it through this, like, what we would call on the trail a blue blaze, and like, she's amazing because she's so reasonable and rational and explains things so clearly, and you know that it's not like, you can tell when you're listening to her and watching her that this isn't about money for her. This isn't some kind of like hoodwinkery or tomfoolery, or she's not about herself, she's all about spirit. So she's linked below, so definitely check out her videos. She has a lot of really great ones, and she also does monthly things, and I think it's like $25 to watch the live version of that, and then she clips some of that and shares it for free online. But she has a lot of really free resources, and I know that, like, we feel like, oh, we shouldn't have to pay for this stuff, but I do believe that we have to pay for people for their time, right? So she's making her living, her retirement living, from this work, and $25 is nothing compared to what other people charge when they're charging $400, $500 for readings. So definitely check her out, check out her website, check out her YouTube video. And so the third resource that I'll share with you is a fellow who is pagan. And so you're thinking, well, why would a Christian watch a pagan? And I have to say, for the research that he does, he's amazing. His name is Arith. I think I'm saying that right. I'm not going to try to pronounce your last name because I have no idea. But I found his videos looking up runes, because I do read runestones. I do read runestones as a divination, a divination practice. And in my opinion, nothing replaces prayer, but, oracle cards and runes, I think, are interesting ways to begin prayer and begin meditation, giving you things to think about. And I knew nothing about runes. Like, I had no idea that Odin, hung himself from the world tree upside down for 9 nights. I had no idea that 9 was a significant number. I had no idea, I knew what the runestones meant in general, because, every runestone package comes with like a little booklet, but he goes into great detail about each stone. But he also goes into like really great detail about all kinds of historical things that do connect to people who are in spiritual practices, whether it be witchcraft or Wicca, paganism, even Christianity. He talks about a lot of different things, and I find that his research is really good. I think he has an archaeology background. I don't know if he works in that field, but I've come to trust his work, because he'll call BS on things that he thinks are BS, or he'll like, for example, in this discussion of runes, he points out that we really don't know what the original ones meant, because there's no record of what the original ones meant. We only know like what, when they were sort of discovered, a few hundred years ago, like what those folks said about them. So I like his work, and he is listed below, so please give him a follow and a like as well. I've also put down some tarot readers that I like, and having come from a very religious background and having been told my whole life that tarot is evil, it's always very difficult for me to talk about tarot, because I would get in trouble for talking about tarot. Intention is 100% when it comes to any divination tool, including prayer, right? So what you put into it, what you see in it, what you think of it, that comes from your intention in either reading them yourself or hearing the words. So you have free will. We have free will. So even in our religion and Christianity, we have free will. So you can hear things that people tell you, but that doesn't mean you have to do what they tell you. You can watch something and say, well, that doesn't have anything to do with me. And that's okay. You can read something else, you can watch something else, or you can do it yourself or whatever. So so there are some tarot card readers that I like. I've talked about one of them before, Leslie's tarot. She's very good. I like her style. She's got a lot of spunk. And the Scorpio Squad is also very good. Julia is the reader there, and I like her reading. So just to be complete, I am linking them down below so that you can check them out too. I'm a Scorpio, so that's why I watch the Scorpio Squad, but I believe she does other signs too. Or if you're a cross watcher, which I never even knew was a thing, if you're one of those, you can watch her stuff too. So that is my weekly roundup for you for this week. And I will link everything below, and I wish all of you all the very best in light and love. And as you discover really great content, please feel free to hit subscribe and post your cool content below, and I will check it out. Thank you so much. Be well. Take care. Bye-bye.